defense opening statement.
Yes, sir. May it please the court. Today's case is about two best friends and one unfortunate tragedy. Miss Nassau has gotten up here today, and she's painted a picture of a cold and calculated killer that knew what was happening. But I believe that you're going to hear in today's trial that today's case is just about two best friends. Neither wanted to harm each other. See, the story for today's case begins long before the day of the accident. The story begins back in 2005. That's whenever the plaintiff's family moves right next door to Jesse and Hayden Duran. The plaintiff's family has a daughter. Their daughter's name is Sydney Park. Sydney and Jesse are both about the same age. They're both 5 years old in 2005. They get along really well. They become best friends. They love spending time together. They love playing all kinds of games. They love playing with water guns. They love playing in their front yard with Nerf guns. They even love to play video games as they grow older. Now, as we move forward in time to 2002, the two girls are still best friends. They're still growing up right next door to each other. And that's also the year that the plaintiff's house gets broken into. She decides to buy a gun for protection. She also decides not to tell her daughter about the gun, which is understandable because her daughter was very young at the time of the accident. Now we're moving forward in time again, and now we're at the day before the accident. That's whenever the two children find out that the plaintiff has a gun. They find out the plaintiff stores that gun in their bedroom. And you're going to hear this in today's case from the plaintiff herself. Kids find out there's a gun in the house and they want to play with it. Now we're moving forward in time again, and now we're to the day of the accident. The day of the accident begins just like any other day. That day, Jesse Duran goes over to the plaintiff's house. But unlike other days, the kids are going to be unsupervised. The babysitter is unable to make it to the plaintiff's house. It's whenever the two kids decide to get out that gun. They decide to play with the gun. So together, they walk over to the safe that the plaintiff keeps the gun in. They open that safe, and they pull out that gun. They begin to play with the gun, and then eventually they make their way to the living room. And while Jesse Duran is holding that gun, it discharges. That gun hits Sydney. Sydney falls to the ground. Jesse is shocked. Jesse begins sobbing. Jesse sees his best friend die. It's whenever Jesse loses her very best friend. Eventually, the police arrive on scene and they want to find out what happened. So Jesse tells him what happened. Jesse tells him everything that happened, and Jesse writes it down. Jesse tells the police it was an accident. The plaintiff has a burden in today's case. They have to show you by a preponderance of the evidence their case. They have to show you it's more likely than not that Jesse intentionally shot Sydney. But today you're going to hear evidence that's going to tell you that Jesse and Sydney were best friends. And by the end of today's case, my co-counsel and I are going to ask you to find Hayden Duran not liable. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Corner. Plaintiff, prepare to call the first witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The plaintiff calls Andy Park to the stand.